I started, the college was bankrupt. And the reason I took the job was because when I was interviewed by all these people who believed in this place. And this college was nothing. You looked around and the buildings were in terrible shape. I mean, terrible. Grass was growing up. And they had probably, at most, maybe 500 students. Most. They had 8 full-time faculty.
Right.
And, but when I was interviewed, here were these guys, and the chairman of the board asked them, to ask me questions, and the first 2 or 3 had no questions. Then it got to this other one, Charles Ennis, and he said, "Well, General, what's your leadership philosophy?" I thought, now this is kind of a interesting question to ask of a potential applicant for your college. So anyway, I answered it. And then it got around to the chairman, and he said, "Well, General, I understand you were in the 82nd. I said, "Yes, sir, I was. I spent 8 years there and about 200 parachute jumps and da-da-da-da-da." He said, "Well, I was in the 82nd in World War II and Battle of the Bulge." Bingo! That was the end of the interview. I took the job. I took a 90% pay cut and was the president of the college for 21 years.
Wow.
The college had the mission of graduating responsible citizens. If you're going to develop character, responsible citizens, there has to be more than the mere administration of discipline behind it. There's more to virtue than discipline. Leadership requires virtues of all sorts. And so we changed that around. And around the campus, I hung little pennants of duty, honor, country, and character above all. And every morning at formation, the cadets required to echo that. The idea of duty, honor, country, for me, was the way to instill virtue, character, if you will. And I renovated every building on that campus or built a new one over the years that I was there. We started up ethics bowls. We contributed in ethics bowls. We won national championships in ethics bowls. Made it a point to visit classes, both in the college and in the prep school, almost every day. Just to go down and sit in a class and let the teachers know that I cared. It's excellent. The quality of instruction is excellent. When I was a second lieutenant platoon leader, we were on what was then called an Army training test in Germany. And during that test, we had a number of obstacles that we had to overcome and that we faced missions. And this one time we had an attack. That was our priority. Our mission was to attack this piece of terrain. So I took my squad leaders up to this promontory overlooking a valley, and my objective, and I said, "Sergeants, our objective's over there." And I proceeded to go through the 5-paragraph field order. Well, about 2 minutes, if less than that, Sergeant Billy Thompson said, "Hey, sir, our objective's over here." And, he was right. But to this day, I don't know what qualities I had manifested that caused Sergeant Thompson to have the confidence that he could correct me. A dumbass, Ranger qualified lieutenant, that he could correct. So I don't know what qualities I had, but he did it. I've never forgotten that how important it is to create a climate so that your subordinates will correct you when they think you're wrong or when they think they have a better idea. By the way, Sergeant Billy Thompson was killed in Vietnam and is in Arlington National Cemetery with a silver star next to his Purple Heart.
Yes, sir.
So I think all my life, I remembered him and what he taught me. And I've tried to, in many ways, carry that idea into my subordinates, So Thompson still lives in many ways.